Good afternoon, everyone. And I hope everyone is in the session. So we'll start the session. And what did we discuss yesterday? We're done with the lang chain, right? And also we have explored the Hugging Face, correct? Hugging Face and also was Grok, right? How many of you have explored the other playgrounds like or else which are present in the Hugging Face? How many of you have explored it? I hope everyone have explored it, correct? Okay, fine. So now we'll be starting with this prompt engineering, okay? We'll start with this prompt engineering and we'll try to finish this prompt engineering and then we'll start the database design. Let me just open the PPT and share this thing. Just give me a minute. So today we'll be discussing about this prompt engineering. All the fundamentals we'll be discussing. What are the techniques which are present that we'll be discussing. And as this is about prompt engineering, so please everyone just focus on the concept, okay? You just need to apply the concept, that's it. And in between we'll try to go through some of the AI tools or else the LLMs also. Okay. So what is the main agenda of this particular prompt engineering fundamentals? So we'll be going through this prompt engineering techniques, introduction to the foundation models, deconstructing the prompt, and the exact definition of prompt engineering. Okay. So what exactly do we understand or else do you understand by prompt engineering? Prompt engineering. We'll be doing so whatever the query which we'll be asking to an LLM will be the prompt, correct? And in the prompt, we'll be making sure that whatever the output that we're expecting, we are mentioning it very clearly and we are being very specific, correct? So we are just making sure that whatever the input which we are giving to the LLM is making us or else is making the LLM to think and generate that particular context, correct? So we'll be seeing what exactly this deconstructing the prompt is. Okay, let us move further. So definition. So what it is saying, prompt engineering is the art and science of crafting precise and effective prompts to elicit desired outputs from large language models. To get the desired outputs from the large language models, so prompt engineering is the art of crafting. Okay, so whatever the query that which we are giving as an input, so how you are giving that, how clearly you're writing that particular prompt, and how clearly you're explaining the thing, and how specific are you being. Okay, and what is the context? Have you provided the context over there? All these things matter. All these things matter, and all these things will help you. I mean, will help the LLM to understand your query, and it will generate the response accordingly. It will generate the desired response. Okay, fine. So what it is saying, it involves understanding LLM behavior, designing optimal input structures, and iteratively refining the prompts. Iteratively refining the prompts. Why? To achieve the specific goals. Okay. So this is about the prompt engineering definition. But the thing here is you need to understand what exactly prompt engineering is doing. Prompt engineering, see, previously we had an idea like prompt engineering is nothing but what are the prompt we are giving, and based on that the output we will be getting. But how exactly it is happening, in what way the LLM is understanding, will it be, will the LLM behavior depend on the prompt? Yes, because how exactly you are trying to get that output, how how much context are you providing in your prompt, how much clarity are you maintaining in your prompt, depending on all these factors only you'll be getting the output, right? So prompt engineering is very important, okay, to get the desired output. Okay, fine, so we'll just move forward. Okay, and here you can see also static prompts, contextual prompts, prompt templates, prompt chaining, prompt pipelines, agents, all these things we'll discuss. Static prompts you already know, correct? So what is crucial over here? Control, accuracy, efficiency, innovation. So what are all these four factors? All these four factors will, what they will do exactly. So we'll just go through one of the factors. So what it is saying for control, transform LLMs from unpredictable text generators to powerful controllable tools. Okay. And for accuracy, minimizes hallucinations, bias, and irrelevant responses. See, why it is crucial? It is talking about prompt engineering. It is saying that prompt engineering is very crucial because it will help us to control what LLM is generating. Okay, and it will help us in the accuracy also. Accuracy of what? Accuracy of our desired output. What it does, it will minimize the hallucination. Hallucinations means the LLMs will sometimes, if you ask a query, the LLMs will hallucinate and it will generate an irrelevant content. Okay, that is what it will be hallucinating itself on that particular topic, and it will be generating lots and lots of things, irrelevant. Okay, irrelevant thing data it will be generating. So bias, there will be a bias also, and this irrelevant responses, there will be a minimum. I mean, by giving your prompt correctly, okay, you can see a good accuracy. Good accuracy means there is no hallucination, there is no bias, there is no irrelevant responses while the LLM is responding. Okay, so that is why prompt engineering is one of the key main. In the prompt engineering, one of the thing which is crucial is accuracy also, and efficiency. It will improve the efficiency and innovation also. If you see for efficiency and innovation, what it is saying, reduces the need for fine tuning, saving time, resources. Okay, and for innovation, what it is saying, enables the novel application previously deemed impossible. So whatever the novel application previously, what it is saying, application previously deemed which were considered as impossible, it will help us to, what it will do, it will help us to do the innovate thinking also. Even the LLM will try to think and generate. Okay, if whatever the prompt that we are giving is proper and intact, so it will help us in all these four factors: control, accuracy, efficiency, innovation. Okay, and what is this McKinsey? So if you see here, McKinsey, you know McKinsey, right? It's a company. It is estimating that effective prompt engineering can improve the accuracy of LLMs output by 30%, up to 30%. Okay, leading to a significant cost savings and increased efficiency. Correct. See, if you are good with the prompt engineering, the LLMs will be giving a desired output. So there is no need of uh, giving the input multiple times and testing the output, right? So you just need to give the input and you'll be getting the output, right? So which will lead to a significant cost savings and increased efficiency, correct? So this is why the prompt engineering is very crucial. Okay. And deconstructing the prompt. What is this deconstructing the writing prompt? We'll just see. Okay. Deconstructing the prompt. Instructions, context, input data, output indicators. What is this instruction, context, input data, and output indicators? So we'll just go through one by one. Okay. Instructions. Clear, actionable commands defining the desired outcome. So it's like translate the following text into French. So we are giving a whatever the input we are giving to the LLM, it's clear. Just like we are maintaining a clarity. What is the example? Translate the following text into French. So we are being very clear and we are being very specific. Whatever the text that has been considered as an input, that text need to be translated into French. So we are being very specific and we are also maintaining the clarity, right? So it's like instructions, be clear and actionable commands defining the desired outcome. So that is one way. And context. Context is nothing but background information needed for understanding. The text is a scientific abstract. I mean, if you see the example, the text is a scientific abstract about climate change. So if you see here the context and also input data means the actual data to be processed. Example, the impact of rising sea levels. And the output indicators. What it is saying, specify the desired format and structure of the response. So it's like written the translation in a single paragraph. Just want the output in a single paragraph, I can just mention over there, okay? And what are the examples? You can see demonstration of the desired input-output relations, like English hello, hello world, and French, it will be bonjour, right? So what exactly is deconstructing the prompt? Let's say, so I'll just give a short example, okay? So let's consider there is an example. You are working on some particular project, okay? You're working on some particular project and you're getting an error in your VS code, okay? You're getting an error in your VS code. So what you'll be doing, you will be copying that code, the code blocks and also that particular error, and you'll be going to ChatGPT or Gemini, any other LLM, and you'll be dumping all those two things, the error and also the code, and you'll ask the ChatGPT or the other LLM to resolve that error, correct? So it will be, so what happens, it will be generating an output, correct? It will generate an output. And what happens over there, again you will be keeping considering that output, pasting it in your main file, run the code. Again, if you get an error, again you'll just copy that particular block, you'll copy that particular error. If it is a new error, go to ChatGPT again, you'll paste that, and you'll be asking resolve that error also. So what are you doing over there? You're, so whatever the action that you're doing is okay, fine, you're trying to resolve an issue, but you're not following the key principles of prompt engineering over there. What are the key principles of prompt engineering? We need to maintain clarity. Okay, we need to maintain a clarity. We need to provide the context. Okay, and we need to be very specific. Okay, we need to be very specific. So that is how we construct a prompt. Okay, that is how we construct a prompt. About this deconstructing the prompt, we'll also try to see an example also. So now I need to maintain a clarity. I need to be very specific, and also I need to follow the provide the context. Okay, so for the same prompt, if I just say, so this is my application code and this is what I'm exactly trying to do in this block of code, but I'm actually getting this error in my VS Code terminal when I'm trying to run this code. Let me know what exactly that issue is pointing out to, and try to resolve that issue, or else try resolve that particular issue. So I was being very clear. I provided the background context also, correct, background information. If you see, I provided the background information and I maintained a clarity what exactly happening, correct. So that is how we gave a prompt. Okay, that is how we gave a prompt. Got it? Understood? Deconstructing the prompt. Understood, everyone? It is important. So three things: maintain clarity, be very specific of what kind of outcome that you are expecting, and provide some background information or the context. Okay, clear, everyone? Okay, fine. So now, okay, now we'll just see one example. Okay, we'll just see one example. Everyone, open the Copilot. Okay, open the Copilot. Just let me just share my screen. Let me just open the Copilot and share the screen. Okay, fine. So I hope everyone able to see the screen. You still know. So everyone able to see, right? This was a sample one. We'll just complete this, do the same. Okay, we'll just do the same. Able to see the screen? No confirmation. Fine. Okay. So fine. So what are the three main key principles, guys? What are the three main key principles? Maintain a clarity. Okay. And also, what do we need to do? We need to provide some context. And the main thing is we need to be very specific, right? We need to be very specific. So these are the three main things we need to follow. Okay. We need to follow. Let me just paste it over here. Okay, I have updated in the chat also the key principles for prompt engineering: clarity, context, and also specific. Okay, we need to be very specific. Now we'll just see a sample example. Okay, fine. So everyone knows about this incident, right? Which happened in South Africa, like long ago. Gandhiji, correct? Everyone knows that incident, right? So I hope even Copilot knows it, right? Even the Copilot also knows about it. So I'll just ask the Copilot about that particular scenario. So first prompt, I will not maintain any clarity. I will not be very specific. I will not maintain any context. I will not provide any context. I'll just give a sample prompt, just like how we will be giving in our initial days. Okay. I mean, how we were giving. Okay, like gone. Sorry. So what did I just give? Mahatma time in South Africa. So Gandhiji's time in South Africa. So what it is giving? It is giving everything. It is giving everything. But what I want, I just want to know about. I just want to know about his time in South Africa where he got kicked out of the train. Okay, I want to know during about that particular incident only. There is an incident where Gandhiji was kicked out of the train, right? So I just want to know about that particular incident only. I don't want to know about all this information about his law practices and all. Okay. So in the first prompt, I didn't maintain any clarity. So now I'll just give. So now what I'm doing, I'm just making sure a clarity is being mentioned. I mean, I was being clarity, right? I'm maintaining a clarity, right? I'm making sure that some clarity is given over there. I want to know about Mahatma train incident in South Africa. Or else, or else I can directly write Mahatma Gandhi. Correct. Mahatma Gandhi train incident in South Africa. So I'm providing the background information here. Train incident, and being very specific by mentioning it in South Africa. Correct. And I'm also maintaining the clarity like for whom Mahatma Gandhi train incident in South Africa. So let's see how it responds. Okay, fine. So you can see everything about that particular story. Correct. Every information I got it. Every information I got. So I just want to know about this particular incident, and I got the response. But previously, how I got the response? See, see here. Did it mention anywhere? Did it mention anywhere about that particular incident? Did it mention anywhere about that particular incident? No, right? No, it didn't mention. So sometimes, even if you think like, okay, this prompt will work either way, let's give it a try. If you try do that, sometimes it won't work. Okay, sometimes it won't work. So you need to be very specific. Okay, you need to be very specific. And if you see here, I was maintaining all those three key principles. I was maintaining some clarity and being specific, and also provided some background information. Then I got the accurate output. Correct. Accurate output. So this is how you need to deconstruct your prompt. Okay. This is how you need to deconstruct your prompt. Okay. Fine. Understood everyone? What exactly we did understood? Any doubts, anyone? Anyone, any doubts? Okay, I hope everyone understood. Fine. So I'll just proceed forward, okay? And you can see here the exact workflow logic is defined over here. If you see, what is the emphasis here? Each component plays a vital role in guiding the LLM towards the desired result. Missing or poorly defined components lead to a suboptimal performance. Suboptimal performance, okay? The term is very important. See here, input. From the input, the primary content will be going to the application and also the prompt, and the prompt plus the primary content will be getting through the OpenAI model. Okay. See, what exactly this is saying is each and every component will play a vital role in guiding the LLMs. Okay. And also through that we'll be getting our desired result. And if any such input, or else if you're not maintaining any one of the key principles, or if you're not following any of the prompt technique which we'll be seeing, in that case it will lead to a poor performance, and also it can also be considered as a suboptimal performance. It can be considered as a suboptimal performance. So achieving clarity and specificity in prompt. Achieving clarity and specificity in prompt. So what is the focus point here? The importance of using the precise language and avoiding the ambiguity. And key principles. What are the key principles again? Active voice, direct language, quantifiable requirements, constraint specification. So these are some of the key principles to achieve clarity and specificity. How exactly you need to maintain clarity and be very specific? This is the way. You can be, you can try to be very specific and try to maintain some clarity. Okay. So active voice is summarize this article versus a summary of this article. Correct. Active voice and passive, right? Passive voice, correct. And direct language is nothing but avoid jargon, idioms, and overly complex sentence structures. So you can directly ask in a normal conversation kind of a way to the LLM. And if you see whatever the prompt which I have given in the Copilot also, the particular line or the query was very simple, correct? So direct language, quantifiable requirements. Quantifiable requirements means generate a 100-word summary instead of generate a short summary. Quantify. You need to mention your requirements exactly. It's not like generate a short story or else tell about a person. It's like if we are being very specific to here to the summary, then we need to mention the word also. Generate a 100-word summary. We are just mentioning how the summary, how many words it should consider for that particular summary, and based on that it should generate. Okay. So quantify requirements, like you can switch according to the scenario. Okay. And the constraint specifications. What it is saying? Use only information provided in the input text to prevent hallucinations. What are the information provided in the input text? Only that should be used in order to prevent the hallucinations. Okay. Fine. So this is a way to achieve a clarity and be very specific in the prompt. Okay. Yeah. See the example. See an effective and an ineffective prompt. See the ineffective prompt ones. Write something about cats. So LLM could either generate a 3 lines output, 5 lines output, or else it could generate a whole 10-15 lines of an output. Correct. So that is very ineffective because we are not being quantifiable over there. Correct. We are not being very quantifiable. Correct. So what is an effective example? So write a 3-sentence description of a Persian cat, focusing on its physical characteristics like fur, color, eye shape. Include the information about their average weight, lifespan, citing the American Cat Fanciers Association as the source. So if you see this particular prompt, how clearly each and every detail has been mentioned, how clearly it was very specific go to the American Cat Fanciers Association. Correct. So if you want to try this prompt, even you can try also. Let me know if you want to try out this example. Okay, I'll just give like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, just try out that effective and ineffective prompt of output. Okay, just try out that in the chat GPT. Okay, use chat GPT and try the effective way and the ineffective way. Okay, fine. Okay, I hope everyone checked with that particular prompt, right? I hope it's done. I will just move further, okay? We are having many more examples also. So you'll be seeing the difference. You'll see the difference in between this prompt and this prompt. How effective this particular prompt is, how effective this prompt is. Okay? Right. So context and also background. So what is this context and background exactly? What are the area we need to focus on? Okay. So what it is saying? Setting the scene for the LLMs to understand the task at the hand. Okay. So it's like setting the scene in the sense, creating a background, correct? Establishing the background information or else providing the background information. Okay. That is what the context is. And key consideration. What are the key considerations? Target audience, domain expertise, task objective. Correct. What is this target audience? Who is the intended recipient of the LLM's output? So what it is saying, who is the intended recipient of the LLM's output? So what is the example? Explain this concept to a fifth grader. See, the target audience. First factor you need to focus is who could be the target audience for that output. Okay, who could be the target audience for that output? Else, in what way we want that output and what kind of target audience are liking to hear that output. Okay, so let's say I'm writing a mail. Okay, let's say I'm writing a mail. So I'm writing a sick leave. The mail is regarding the sick leave. So who will be my target audience? My target audience will be my manager, correct? My manager or my team lead, correct? Or HR, correct? So I can't. I will not write a sick leave formally to my friend, right? If I want to write a sick leave in the mail to my friend, I can directly call him and tell him, or else I can directly drop a mail like, so today I'm not feeling well. I'll just take a sick leave today. I can directly mention to my friend. But if it is for my friend, I'll just drop it in one single line. And if it is for the target audience like manager, team lead, HR, so the mail should be very formal. So I'll be maintaining some clarity, like write a mail to my manager where I'm applying for sick leave. Okay. So that is how I'll be giving an example and keeping things keeping things intact, like considering the manager and this is a sick leave and the email needs to be generated by understanding these terms. It will be generating the output. Okay, it will be generating the output. So you need to consider who your target audience is. Okay, what exactly the target audience is. Okay, and the domain expertise. What is this domain expertise? What is domain expertise? Expert in the domain. But what domain it is referring to? The field or area of knowledge relevant to the task. Okay. So what exactly the example is? You are a medical doctor. Explain the side effects of this drug. Okay. So it's like we need to consider this domain expertise also. So what is the example? Medical doctor explaining the side effects of the drug. So you can think of another examples also. You can think of a salesperson. Correct. So let's say I'm having a problem in a sales report. Okay. I'm having very hard time understanding the sales report. So now the whole report I will upload to ChatGPT, or else, I mean, let's say that is not a company data, or else I'm just using everything in my local. Okay. I'm using everything in my local, but that is not a good practice. Okay. Uploading your company data to a ChatGPT or any other LLM is not a very good practice. It is very bad. Okay. So for now, suppose just assume that having a sales data and I just want to understand it. Okay. Or else I'm having a research paper. I just want to understand the research paper. So now what I will do? I'll just upload that research paper to ChatGPT and I will say, you are a renowned scientist in that. If that research paper is like related to a medical domain, you are a good scientist or it's a very well established doctor, and there is a research paper published. So please explain me what exactly that research paper is saying about. So that is what my prompt will be. So according to that, now what prompt engineering will do? It will think in a way like how you have entered your prompt, and then it will try to answer the query. It will try to answer the query. Okay, so that is another way, domain expertise. So this one is just like yesterday we have given a system prompt, right? System prompt, user prompt, system role, user role. So it is just like a system role, okay? How exactly system needs to react and generate the output. So similarly, we are having this task objective. What is this task objective? So why is the LLM performing this task? Correct. Why is the LLM performing that particular task? Why should the LLM perform that particular task? Okay, if you see, okay, so here we are having the research paper for the literature review. So help me understand the research paper. Okay, so up to research paper is fine, but what is the exact task? Exact task is to understand the research paper so the end user can write a literature review. That's it. So task is to understand the research paper. So all these target audience, domain expertise, task observation, or else task objective, all these are considerations for providing the background information or the background context in order to get the desired output. Okay. So once just go through this all the lines, once just go through the lines, everyone. Okay, hope everyone has gone through this. So industry example we'll discuss. Okay, we'll discuss, but for now we'll have a short break, and after the short break we'll discuss about that industry example. Okay, fine. I hope everyone understood until now. So please take a short break. So after that we'll be discussing about this industry example. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone is back from the break. And I see some queries also. Okay, how can I create a database using a prompt engineering? Database, database like you're saying about the SQL or else no SQL formats. Are you referring to any particular database? Please be specific, okay? Please let me know if you're referring to that. So I can show you a live example also to that prompt, okay? So please be specific about that. And also explain about Hugging Face one more time. Yeah, in the last for 10 minutes, we'll be explaining. I'll try to explain about Hugging Face one more time, okay? Don't worry. So I see these are all the queries. Fine. And if you're having any other doubts also, please let me know. We can explore those doubts, okay? Don't worry. Fine. So now we are going to understand about this industry example. I mean, one minute, guys. I mean, what exactly you're not following? I see one of your friend is saying that they were not exactly following the things. So what exactly you're not following? The flow, or else the way things are going on? The explanation you're saying? Okay, about the database part you're referring. So you're saying that how can I create a database, right? So actually what happens in SQL, how do we create a database? Let's create database and we'll just give the database name, correct? In the SQL editor. That is how we create a database, and based on that again, we'll uh, we'll create all the tables, correct? All the tables and whatever the columns we want to include in the tables, we'll be writing the SQL queries, correct? We'll be writing all those queries and then we'll be creating a whole database which will have a multiple tables, correct? So that is one way how we create a database in the SQL format. If I just want to use a NoSQL format, I can refer to a MongoDB, correct? And if you're asking me about this, how to write a query, then you can explore in the ChatGPT. So that is what I am referring to. Okay, that is what I am referring to. Okay. Fine. Okay. So if what you are asking and what did I explain, I mean what I just explained are the same, then it's fine. If not, if you are having different doubt, let me know in the Q&A. Okay. In the meantime, I'll just explain the industry example. Industry example. So what is this industry example? What it is saying in customer service, providing the a large language model with the customer's past interaction history and purchase details dramatically improves the quality of its responses. Some companies are seeing a 40% reduction in the customer churn by personalizing the AI interactions this way. Okay, so how exactly an effective and ineffective prompt is applicable in an industry standard, and how it is impacting, and how some companies are seeing a 40% reduction in the customer churn by personalizing the AI interactions. We'll see. Okay. So an ineffective way of text. What it will have analyze this text is the input prompt. Okay. Analyze the text is the input prompt. So why exactly it is ineffective? It is not having a proper context, and analysis could be of anything from sentiment to topic modeling. Correct. Analysis could refer to anything, just like when we refer to Gandhiji example, Gandhiji in South Africa. So it could refer to any time period for the whole time period in the South Africa, correct? So if you just see this effective prompting, analyze this customer review. What is the review? I love the design, but the battery life is terrible. Okay. Identify the main positives and negative aspects. Focus on product features and customer service experiences. Return the findings in a bulleted list. The product is a smartphone. So how effective it is? So we are being maintaining some clarity and provided some context, and we are being very specific that product is a smartphone only. Correct. Providing the clear context. So context is the customer review, analysis type, aspect to focus on, output format. What is the output format we have expected also? Bullet format, correct, bullet points format. Whatever the findings or the insights it has find, so it will be returning the things in a bullet format. Okay. So this is one kind of an example. Okay, this is one kind of an industry level example. Okay, how to utilize this kind of effective and ineffective prompts. Okay, effective prompts will make us ask the question once and twice. Okay, but I mean ineffective prompts will make us ask the queries 2 to 3 times. But effective prompts in one single prompt will get the desired output. Okay, fine. So language and the tone is another important factor. Language and the tone is another important factor. So why? Because it will impact the style and also the output of the LLM. Correct. That is the attitude of the LLM's output. Because see, let's say you're trying to ask a question. Okay, you're trying to ask a question and you're trying to get to know about a topic. Even in the Q&A section also, sometimes what happens is in the Q&A section, if you are asking a query and if you're not mentioning the question mark, so I just feel like you're just mentioning some statement, or else you are giving a statement over there, or else you're answering something. If you are mentioning a question mark, then I'll be getting to know, okay, you're asking a question. Correct. So that is one way to understand how the language and tone will be impacting the output of the LLM. Okay. What are the key considerations over here? Formality, personality, emotion. Formalities, formal, informal, technical, conversational. Personality in the sense, like a serious way, humorous way, persuasive way, objective way, and emotional. So it could relate to positive, negative, neutral. Okay. So these are all the key considerations. And what are some techniques? So it is saying about role playing, tone indicators, language model. So role playing, as it is mentioned later, it will be covered. Okay, role playing is nothing but in the previous example, we told the system to consider himself as a research scientist, right? So that is what the role play is. Okay, and tone indicators, write in a professional and concise manner. Correct. So that is a tone indicator, right? Professional way, professional manner. It should sound professional. So when you are writing a mail to your manager, also you will try to make sure that particular mail is sounding professional. Correct. And language modeling. What is language modeling? Explicitly state the desired language style. Okay. Use the academic language suitable for a peer-reviewed publication. Whatever the publication is published, so use an academic language. Okay. Use an academic language over there. Okay. So that is about the language and the tone. So why exactly the language matters? This is regarding. So some of the psychological principles, if you see for the ineffective and effective prompting. So this is the priming effect. Okay, priming effect also we can see. What is suggest? It is suggesting that the language used in the prompt can subtly influence the LLM's output. Correct. And also using positive language can lead to more optimistic or creative responses. That is true. Correct. If you are using a positive language and being very clear and precise, it can lead to more optimistic or else creative responses. Correct. An ineffective way. What is an effective and ineffective way of this priming effect? See, refer to this. Here, how the tone is. Write about the dangers. Correct. How the tone is. Tone is implicit and also LLMs may generate overly dramatic or preachy content. Correct. So that is completely ineffective. See the effective way. Write a report on the health risk associated, citing reputable sources like CDC and WHO. Maintain a neutral and objective tone. Include statistics on the incidence versus in this particular category. Correct. It should consider these two persons, and it should also go for the reputable citing reports from the CDC and also WHO, and generate a response or else generate a report. So this is bit effective when compared with this. Ineffective means even if you search in Google, like if you search in the both ways, effective and ineffective also, it will be returning a similar kind of an answer with here with few reports like from the WHO, or else it will be mentioning few sightings. But if you gave the same prompt to ChatGPT or any LLM, you'll see a huge difference. Okay, you'll see a huge difference. It will generate a clear report. So just try this, okay? Try this. I'll just give like 2 to 3 minutes. Just try this, everyone. I'll give the prompts also. Just a moment. I'll paste the prompts also. Just let me know, did you observe the difference or not? Okay. So this one is ineffective. Okay. What I am mentioning is ineffective, and also in the effective way, try to give this both prompts and try to check the output. Okay. Okay. So both the prompts I have updated in the chat. So first check the response for the ineffective and then check the response for effective, and let me know what is the main difference that you have observed. Okay. Done everyone? Understood the difference? Try to experiment, okay? Try to experiment. That is the reason I'm giving you some time also, even during the sessions, okay? So check the difference between ineffective and effective prompting. Correct. It will generate a report too. If you give a clear prompt, like instead of write like if you give a generate a factual report, so it will try to generate a full report also, okay? Fine. We'll just move further, okay? So some of the steps, what are the steps again? Define the task, identify the inputs, create a detailed prompt, and refine the prompt. Okay, refine the prompt. So whatever the query that you are asking, we need to define that particular task, what that particular task is, and then what kind of inputs that you are giving. We need to give the exact inputs as per our expected output, and we need to make sure that prompt is being written clearly. So detailed prompt, and then refine the prompt if the prompt refining is necessary. So now we will be seeing some of the techniques related to prompt engineering. So power of prompt engineering: zero shot, one shot, and few shot. Okay, zero shot, one shot, and few shot. Striking anything in the lang chain few shot template, right? Remember? Okay, fine. So zero shot inference is nothing but without any example. Okay, without any sometimes what happens if you want a exact output, we'll be mentioning like as per this output only generate the similar kind of a, or else generate a similar kind of an output we'll be mentioning, correct? So without mentioning any example, we'll be just giving that, telling the LLM that give me the output in the JSON format. And if the JSON format also, if you are having any specific output, then we'll be giving that specific output as an example, and then we'll be mentioning that. So give me a similar kind of a response as per the example JSON output format, correct? So then what the LLM will do, it will generate a similar kind of a JSON output response, which will be almost, I mean, which will be very similar, or else which will follow the same rule. How the output is present in that particular example, it will also produce the same output, a similar output in the response also. So that is called as a one shot inference. One shot inference is one example, okay? One example. And few shot is nothing but here we'll be having the multiple examples we'll be giving, okay? If you see, the few shot inference allows you to provide a small number of examples to guide the model's behavior. So to guide the model behavior, we'll be giving a small number of examples, like we can consider 2 to 3 or four examples at least. And it's like giving the model a mini training session with a just handful of prompts. So this is very important again. Why exactly this zero shot, one shot, few shot is required? It is like giving the model a mini training session, how the output should be occurring. Okay. So that is why the few shot, one shot, and zero shot will be using. Okay. Hope everyone understood this zero shot inference, one shot inference, and few shot inference. Any doubts? Let me know in the Q&A. Okay, just go through this zero shot learning. Just go through this. What it is saying: tasking the LLM without providing any examples, relying solely on its pre-trained knowledge and reasoning abilities. So zero shot prompting means we'll not provide any example. So it will rely solely on the pre-trained knowledge. Correct. What are the use cases? Simple question answering format, basic translation, general summarization. Correct. General summarization refers to summarize the following paragraph, and translation refers to translate hello to Spanish. Simple question answering refers to capital of France. So there were some limitations also. What it is can be unreliable for complex tasks or tasks requiring specific expertise. And they were prone to hallucinations if the answer isn't explicitly in its training data. See the last point, prone to hallucinations if the answer isn't explicitly in its training data. So whatever the query that you are asking, and for that particular topic is present in the training data, and the specifics are not present in the training data, then it is prone to have the hallucination. It will overthink, and it will generate some other irrelevant response over there. Okay. So that could be one main issue with this zero shot learning. We need to make sure that that is not happening. Okay. So a real world application, see the example. Write a short prompt about artificial intelligence, and expected output will be a poem generated solely based on the LLM's understanding of AI. How the LLMs, or else how, let's say there is this ChatGPT. How ChatGPT has understood about this AI, based on that only the poem will be generated. Correct. If there is a new definition which has been released yesterday about AI, the ChatGPT will not be knowing about that new definition, because it will be, every LLM will be having a knowledge cutoff date. Correct. And you may say that some of the LLMs are able to give the live data information also, like regarding the current temperature. So in that case, that LLM is connected with a external tool. Okay. If an LLM is answering in that way, so that means that LLM is connected to an external tool. Okay. So this is about the zero shot learning application. Just go through. So for that prompt, what will be the expected outcome? A poem generated solely based on the LLM's understanding of AI, poetry, and language. Correct. Okay. So one shot learning. So what exactly one shot learning is? Providing the large language model with a single input output pair as a demonstration of the desired behavior. Understood? So how the output response we want, the format that we want. So we were already mentioning the LLM to give me in this format only, the output should be in this format only. So the LLM will make sure that it will gather all the information and generate the output in the specific format that you have mentioned. Okay. And what are some use cases? Style transfer, data transformation, benefits, tool integration, all these things are present. So what is this with use cases, style transfer, input? What it is saying? This is awesome, and output will be, this is fantastic. Like the prompt will have a new sentence. Prompt will have a new sentence, and data transformation, it's like input and output should be in that format. Okay. So you're just mentioning that input will be this, so output should be in this format, or else whatever the input it is, the output should be in that format if the input is having those kind of data. Okay. So that is one kind of a use case for style transfer, for data transformation. Okay. Benefits will improve the accuracy, consistency compared to zero shot, and especially the task with the specific formatting or style. Tool integration, it refers to platforms like Cohere's Playground and also A21 Labs, where Q1 allows you to easily test on one-shot learning with different LLMs. Okay. So just remember, one-shot example means we'll just give one example and tell the LLM to generate the output in that same example format only. Okay. Similarly, like one shot, we are having two shot, few shot also. Two shot means two examples, expect a similar output. And also we are having this few shot. Okay, few shot also we are having. Few shot means we'll just provide few examples. Typically 2 to 10 you can see. Typically 2 to 10 examples we'll provide, and we'll expect the output in a similar format. Okay. And this was some real world application for the, for what, for one shot, and this is for few shots. Just refer to this example once. Refer to this real world application example once. Just everyone, please go through this particular slide. Everyone, go through this slide. Okay, hope everyone has gone through this application. So what it is saying, so the LLM will learn based on the underlying task principles and generalizes from the limited data. It implicitly builds a model of the input-output relation. Example, prompt. Classify the sentiment of the following reviews. So the review is about a movie and the sentiment is provided as positive, and the review and again another review sentiment as negative, another review, and what could be that particular sentiment. Okay. So based on those two examples, it should classify this review and provide the output. Okay, the expected output will be as positive, learning the sentiment classification task from the given examples. I hope now you people understood. Okay, so this is another important topic: chain of thought prompting. Okay, chain of thought prompting. What is this chain of thought prompting saying? Encouraging the large language models to explicitly verbalize its reasonings and also process before providing the final answer, where it involves adding the phrases like let's think step by step or providing examples where the reasoning process is explicitly shown. Okay. So, what exactly this chain of thought prompting is? Asking a question. So, let's say you have asked a question, it will generate a response, and based on that question, you just want to go deep dive into the topic, okay? But in a step by step manner, okay? In a one by one manner. You're taking each and every topic, each and every subtopic present in that topic at one single time. So, you'll be giving a prompt like, so first explain me about this topic. We'll go each topic by topic, you'll be mentioning. So sometimes if you see, if you ask the ChatGPT or else Gemini or else any other LLM, sometimes what happens, we'll just mention that explain me about this topic. So what it will be doing, it will be explaining about the topic and it will be giving a further extra information and it will be asking you, do you want me to proceed further? Correct. Sometimes it will be asking you, but exactly we will be expecting to know about that particular terminology, what that particular terminology is. So what that LLM is thinking. So he will be expecting this particular terminology, then step by step manner. So that is what the response. I mean that is how the response is being generated, right? In a step by step manner. The use cases. One of the use cases is for problem solving, logical reasoning, complex arithmetic. And what are some benefits? Improves the accuracy and transparency by forcing the LLM to articulate its reasoning, reduce the likelihood of the black box errors. And research citation is a paper by V. et al. Demonstrated that chain of thought prompting significantly improves the performance of the LLMs on the complex reasoning task. See, when you are let's say when you are trying to resolve an error or else when you are struggling to understand the topic, You can follow this chain of thought prompting. It will help you. Okay, it will help you. So this is this real world application. So see the example. What it is saying, Roger has 5 tennis balls. He buys 2 more cans of tennis balls. Okay, and each can has 3 tennis balls. How many tennis balls does he have now? So let's think step by step. So now LLM, how it will be thinking. So first it will consider Roger, where he is already having 5 balls, and he bought 2 more cans. 2 more cans means each can having 3 tennis balls, so it will be 6 tennis balls. Correct. So that is how it will be reasoning, and it will be giving the expected output. Okay, you can see the expected outcome also. Roger starts with 5 balls. He buys 2 cans. 2 cans, each can containing 3 balls. So it will be 6 balls again extra added. So he's now having 5 plus 6. It's 11 balls. Okay. So that is one way of chain of thought prompting example. Okay. Role playing. What is this role playing? Instructing the LLM to adapt a specific person or role. I already told you, right? Like system prompt, or else initially at the start of our session, there was a doctor example and a research scientist example, correct? So that is what the role playing is. We'll just go through now, okay? What is the mechanism of this role playing? It involves defining the LLM's background expertise and communication style. Use cases are customer service simulation, technical explanation, creative writing. So benefits tailors the LLM output to a specific need and expectations of the user, can improve the engagement and credibility. Ethical consideration is be mindful of the potential bias that can be amplified through role playing, avoid prompting the LLM to adopt personas that can perpetuate harmful stereotypes. So, what exactly this role playing it is saying? You need to consider. So, you need to make sure that whatever the role playing character you're assigning to the LLM, it should not be a biased person. Okay, it should not be a character referring to a real life. Okay, should not mention any specific character, and make sure that there were no harmful stereotypes. Okay. So one of the example I can give is the mail writing to your manager and your friend. Both will be different, right? And if you mention like write a mail to manager and mention as a sick leave, so LLM will consider, or else not that example, not that example. You can consider any other examples like interviewer and the interviewee. Correct. So you can tell the ChatGPT like now you are interviewing me for this particular role, and these are all the skills which I'm having. So start the interview, or else act as an interviewer. You can mention. So it will be asking the specific questions as per your skills and the projects mentioned. But that is one kind of role playing, which will be very helpful for you to understand the topics also. So real world examples. So it is talking about the historians specializing in ancient Rome explain the causes of the Punic Wars. So expected output will be LLM will respond with the detailed historical information, accurate terminology, and scholarly tone appropriate for the historian. Because we are telling that LLM, now you are the historian. Okay, now you are the world famous historian. So let me know about this causes of the wars. So it will give the output in the format of a historian. How he will be explaining in the same similar kind of a format, it will try to generate the response. Okay. Okay, case studies. Now the case studies. So we'll just refer to this case study and yeah, what is this case study saying? Code generation is a case study. How effective prompt should be, how an ineffective prompt is. So how an ineffective prompt is, write a function to calculate the factorial of a number. So this is how we'll give the prompt, right? Even we'll also be giving the prompt in a similar format, right? So how it will generate a simple and possible buggy and also factorial function in an unspecified language. Correct. I didn't mention the language also in the first prompt. I just told write a function to calculate the factorial of a number. So now it will generate the code or else it will write the function in different languages in Java, Python, C, C++. The prompt is very ineffective. Again, we need to give in the prompt, right? So how an effective prompt will be write a Python function, write a Python function called factorial that takes an integer n as an input and return its factorial. Include error handling for negative inputs and non-integer inputs. Add comments to explain each step. Follow the Peptide style guide. So it is very clear, concise, and also the background is provided, and the reference is also provided to follow the style guide. So now you will be getting a well documented factorial function. So this is one of the effective and ineffective prompt case study which is related to code generation. Once go through this. Once refer to this, guys. Okay, I hope it's done. So we're having this analysis, case study, business impact. All these things we'll be discussing in the tomorrow's session. Okay, tomorrow's session. So we are left with another. Okay, we are having a handy of slides. Fine. We'll be completing all those slides in the tomorrow's session, and I mean tomorrow's session in the sense like on Monday. Okay, on Monday, and also everyone please attend the Saturday session also, AMA session. Okay. If you're having any doubts while referring to the recordings, you can let me know. Okay. And anyone any doubts in today's session? Any doubts, anyone? No. Okay. Thank you. See, it is nothing but how we are crafting our prompt. That's it. All these things. It refers to how we are crafting our prompt. Hands-on. Hands-on on prompt engineering. You're saying. You're saying hands-on on prompt engineering, Dave. Okay, see no response. Okay. Okay, anyone, any other doubts you may mention? And if you're not having any doubts, you may leave the session for today. Thank you. Okay, about Hugging Face, right? Sorry, just a minute. Let me just open the Hugging Face interface for you. Okay, I need to share the screen, right? So this is the Hugging Face link. So I have shared the Hugging Face link in the Q&A also. So all you need to do is you need to sign up and sign in. Okay, please sign up and also sign in, and you'll be seeing this dashboard. Okay, so Hugging Face is a platform where we'll be finding multiple models. Okay, models related to text, image, video, audio, and many other different applications. Okay, many other different applications. So what exactly Hugging Face does? Hugging Face will have the models, all the large language models, all the datasets, spaces, and there is this community also and some documentations. And if you can see on the right side over here, these are some of the models which are trending from the last 7 days. There is this Black Forest. From the Black Forest Labs, we are having Flux model. So from the Tencent, we are having a Neon model. From the Google, we are having Gamma model. So from the deep site, also we are having one of the model deep site V2 is the model from the DeepSeek. So in the Hugging Face, where things will get excited is in the spaces. Okay, you like just click on the spaces. Okay, click on the spaces, and you can see the spaces of the week. Spaces of the week. I mean the top performing spaces we can say. Okay, fine. And even here also in the spaces we'll have the categories: image, video, text generation, language translation, speech synthesis, 3D modeling, object detection, text analysis, code generation, question answering, data visualization. So many different categories were present. Okay, you can just select the category and select the model which is having the highest likes. It's better to go with this van once. We'll check. Okay, we'll just select this sample example we are having. Okay, so what is the prompt? The frog jumps around, and these are the dimensions for the frog. Okay, so this is about the video generation from the image. So if you see the output is being generated, yeah, it's still generating. Okay, yeah, the video has been generated. Okay, it has generated 2 seconds video. In that, for 1 second, the frog is already sitting, right? Only the split second it is just moving, right? Okay, fine. So like this, you will be seeing multiple models, multiple video generation models. or else image generation models, multiple generation models. If you people remember Midjourney, from the Midjourney also you can see many models. Okay, from the Midjourney also you can see the model, and this is the area where you will be getting all these things, spaces. Okay, spaces. And one more thing, the model which is present in this particular space also, if you click on this flux context, okay, you can see the files option over here, right, on the top right. You can refer to the files also. What are all the files which are required to run this particular application? Requirements.txt also. So these are all the libraries which are required in this requirements.txt. If you see the app.py will have the whole code. Okay, the whole code we are having. So you'll have each and you'll get to know each and every information about that particular application, how that is running. Okay. So this is in short about the Hugging Face, and we'll be doing one implementation also by using this Hugging Face model. Okay. We'll use an IBM model from the Hugging Face, and we'll implement that. Okay. Hope it's clear. Any more doubts? I see a very big query. Just a moment. Okay, just a moment. Yeah, yeah. I'm reading your query. Just give me a minute. So whatever the questions you are creating, you just want to store those questions in the database, correct? In the database, you want to questions. You want to store those questions, correct? Okay. So were you able to generate the quiz questions? Were you able to generate the questions? 5 years. Okay, but not with the LLM, correct? The previous year question papers, based on that, you're doing it, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, with the LLM we can do, okay, with the LLM we can do, but we need to make sure how we are managing the database, okay? LLM will having all the previous year question papers. I mean, it will be trained on all those concepts also. So you just need to integrate that LLM, and what you can do over here is you can tell the LLM to, you can give the LLM the format you want, like which LLM should be used and trained. You can use any LLM, okay? You can use any LLM. Here the point is you need to mention in what format you are storing those queries, okay? In what format you want to store and how you are loading it in your interface, okay? Yeah. So store it in a CSV file format where you will be storing what you will be storing all the questions in one column, option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4 in other columns, and correct answer in the last column. So then a CSV file will be created as per the specific subject in that whatever the thing that you're trying to do. Correct. So you'll be stating all the things in the CSV, and from the CSV file you will be just reading directly in the interface. That's it. So that is one way to generate the things. Okay. Understood? Any doubts? See, only one thing. You can use the Gemini LLM also, which is for free. And you need to make sure whatever the prompt you are giving, be very clear and specific. Okay. So, like, let's say I just want to create a quiz or else an application where it will be conducting the quiz based on the user topic. Okay. So I'll just enter the topic and I will give the number of the input questions. It should generate the quiz. What I need to do over here, I need to make sure that my LLM is taking the input of that particular topic and the number of questions and generating all the questions along with 4 different options and a correct option and storing it in a CSV file, and that CSV file is storing in my database so that I can read all the values which are present in the database and display it on my interface. Correct. By using the SQL querying or else by whatever the database that you're using, by using that, I can fetch all the values from the database and display it on my interface, and I can write a logic to do the evaluation. Correct. So that is how you can implement a application over there. Clear? I hope it's clear. Any doubts? Okay, if it is still confusing and if you're still feeling doubtful, you may ask me, okay? You may ask me in the upcoming session also. Don't worry, okay? You can use any LLM. You can use any LLM, okay? So this is it for today, guys. Thank you. You may leave the session. If you're not having any doubts, I'll end the session now.